back again.
We're back again. We've survived episode one, and I'm glad we still like each other enough to be back for another week.
I think it was early doors. Early doors. Now I think it starts getting a little bit more serious where we start talking a bit about various sports, a couple of topics come up, and then we're going to have to see. I mean, after episode 2 or 3, that's when I think we'll know if we really like each other or not.
100%, boy. But obviously, you got to kick off with a bit of catch-up defense. How's the weekend? How's life your side, boy?
Mate, this time of the year, it's all these Christmas parties, and it's one after another. Cooks, I don't know if you coping, but I'm not coping, mate. It's reminding me a little bit of Rugby World Cup again, where you're having a couple of beers on a Friday, then it's a Saturday, then it's a Sunday, because everyone wants to have these Christmas events, mate, and it's a little bit taxing, but I think we've had a good enough break now from the World Cup to go again, just towards the end of the year.
Yeah, the end of year parties season is tough. It's a big shift. I had one on Thursday, got one again last week Thursday, got one again on Friday. The one Thursday just threw my weekend into a tailspin because I was meant to have an easy sort of weekend and then big night on Thursday in the year staff party, then leads into Friday, another big night, Saturday big night. But yeah, otherwise my side all things are good. Packing up, moving houses, so it was exciting. But the most important thing I did this week was actually cut my hair. As you can see, I was looking like a hobo
I
the
can
last week. The last few weeks,
I
I was not
can
looking
see
good,
there's a
boy.
little bit of a fade going there, boy. Gotta look good, mate.
That's the most
Gotta
important thing
look
happening.
good.
That's the most important thing. The most critical thing I've done the last few days is go cut my hair.
I want to hear two things from you. I want to hear first and foremost, with all these Christmas parties happening, how badly do you hang? What's your recovery to a hangover? And then secondly, you need to fill me on your barber's tactics. What angles does he go with? Which type of barber is it?
No, mate. Once you're 30, I think I see that now. My recovery time is not as great as it used to be. Oh, geez, Friday was a very long day. It's like it's days like Friday. I'm so glad that I don't actually have like a proper 9 to 5 and just gotta make the odd video here and there. But yes, I struggled on Friday. And Bob, see, the most important thing about my barber is he doesn't. We don't talk. I don't
Okay.
like a chatty barber. I don't want to hear what you like. You come, say how you doing. Everything's good. Family's good. Cut my hair. Because then sometimes I get distracted with the conversation, and I don't want my guy. He's there to do a job. He's so good. He's the only. I've had two barbers in Joburg. One guy who didn't work out, but this guy I've had him for the last year and a half. Fantastic. I try different things. Sometimes I let the hair grow out, or he's just always there to get the job done. That's why I love him. And you, boy?
My, I'm a chatter. I need to chat up. So, my barber absolutely loves the Mumbai Indians, and I'm a massive, massive RCB supporter. So I know a couple of things. I know if Pakistan have lost, I never go get my hair cut. It's one of those things. I avoid it for a couple of days. I let it grow out. I wear a cap. I do all of that, and then I'll go once everything subsides a little bit, and then the second one is the Mumbai Indians. If Baba hasn't scored runs or something's gone down, I just avoid him, and then the Mumbai Indians is the second one. But generally, we catch up. We've got now that I'm in Cape Town, I found my barber. It did take a little bit of time. It's trial and error. One thing that I got told at a very young age is it's that unconditional trust that you have with your barber. I've got quite a thick beard,
100%.
and that blade comes over here. It's just that natural trust. Like you just there, you take that gulp, and then once that gulp happens, then he knows, okay, the trust is there. But yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely love my barber. And yeah, I must give big ups to your barber, mate. Done a fantastic job there,
No, listen,
looking slick,
it,
Cooks.
it it does the most, boy. He does the most. He does the most. I love him to bits. But yeah, for a big weekend of sport though. But yeah, let's get into it.
Mate, quite a bit. We are going to be talking about the South African Rugby Awards that were released today. We've got a little bit of URC. I see the Sharks are back, Stormers not so much. And then, yeah, touch base with a little bit of the EPL, and we know what's coming there, boy. We know what's coming there. But, Cooks, mate, awards. First up, SA Rugby Men's Player of the Year. Peter Steff, Eben, Sia, Frans Malherbe, Damien Willemse. Talk to me. What are you thinking?
I like that how Big France is getting some love there. One for the props. The props never get the love in these
Never.
awards. They never get the love in these awards. I'm so stoked to see that Big France is there. I mean, an absolute talisman of the Springboks, and I think those nominations. I think they're well balanced. I think you got someone like Damien who's an absolute key cog for the Springboks down. Someone like Peter Steff. Peter Steff. I mean, if Peter Steff only played one game of rugby this year, as the World Cup final. Then he can be up for an award for that. That's a game that just buys you a nominee. It's like saying like your one hit single could be better than some people's whole year. But if I get the right song at the right time before December, that could carry me for the next 2 years of my life. So Peter Steff could be styling, but I think one of them
So
Yebens are a great
Panda
chess.
Panda. Is that what you're going with? Panda Panda.
100%.
Decider. That's
He had a
literally
good year, but I think for me, consistency wise, I think throughout the whole year, rugby championship and everything, it's hard to go against Yebben.
I hear you. I want to just throw one on top of that. Eben has been. I do just want to say that Sia can have one of those situations where he's come back from injury. Remember, just come out of it. Literally, it was like the man was never gone. Again, it was literally like he was never gone. But and then Damien, superstar, Peter Steff, as you just said. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, let's go with that. Cooks, and then Springbok Women's Player of the Year. We have Zeze Hele, Libby Janse van Rensburg, Babale Latashe. Who's that? Wrights Makiri and Nadine Ruiz. You follow that quite a bit. I know who I'm leaning towards, but I'm actually going to go for Libby. And the only reason I'm going for Libby, I know Zeze Hele, but Libby, mate, just because of the hits. Seriously, just because of the hits. Honestly, that girl
Let's tackle the year stuff.
It really is. Like, if there was like a joint nominee for biggest hit of the year, it goes to Libby. It goes to Libby. Those are the type of hits, mate. You remember in school, like, we weren't conditioned too well at that stage. And then you get those side hits, you winded. Mate, she's done it like 3-4 times, and to like Samoans, to all types of massive, those shoulders, nah, mate, they conditioned, dog.
No, Levy plays no games. It is tight. Our women's side has had a great year from the World Cup. I think obviously following the momentum now, and it's so great. There's obviously more competitions now for the women, especially we got to host one year down in Staley. So
unbelievable, mate, unbelievable.
I think for me, it's hard to go against Oseza Hele, the absolute superstar, mate. There's no more devastating ball runner, arguably in women's rugby, and no more dangerous eighth man. But when she picks the ball up from the base of the scrum, she is an absolute wrecking ball. And you know what I love? She plays for Leicester Tigers. So if you play the Leicester Tigers men's side, you're dealing with Jasper Wiese. The women who play against Leicester Tigers, you're dealing with Oseza Hele. Either way, you have problems at 8. Either way, you have problems at 8. So I love Nadine Ruiz. But all of them. Abala Lacho is the absolute superstar. But if I had to choose one, it's hard not to go against Oseza Hele. I think last year in the World Cup, I even tweeted saying, I think she might be the most devastating runner in all of rugby. Men's, women's, kids, Billicky rugby. She's a mess.
She's a dog. She's an absolute dog, mate. Imagine being on the base, on the side of the scrum, and knowing that she's running at you, mate. Nah, you put the red carpet out there, mate. You put the red carpet, and you just
when they played England in the World Cup at the end of the year last year, mate. The 9, even when the 9 was on her side, she didn't care. It's like, you're not going to stop me. I don't care. Don't give me.
Nah.
I don't need it. Don't give me a right shoulder. I don't need any sort of shoulder. I'm getting right shoulder. I'm going to pick up. I'm beating 2 defenders. It's simple as that. Whether they get a right shoulder or not.
We can go. So yeah, I agree with you, mate. I totally agree with you. SA Rugby Young Player of the Year. We do have. This is our Cooks. This is our future, mate. This is our future. Ruan Venter from the Lions, Evan Roos, Conan Moody, Jaden Hendrickse, and Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu. Talk to me, dog. Talk to me.
I do love the fact that we got Russ and Ron Fenter in there. I mean, it just shows, mate, we've just lost Dwayne. Now there's Ron Fenter. There's Evan Russ, ready to go if needs be. There's still the no chairs up, but actually, I'm not going to lose for death because I get excited.
It's too much. It's a road
No,
fenter, mate. That
it's
guy's
too
a
much.
wrecking ball himself.
I think it's a tough one because you look at, I mean, Ron Fenter, I thought was absolutely incredible for the Lions in the URC, and Russ for me just got better and better this year. No, probably you look at last year, I think obviously his breakthrough year, running through people, like just like probably a lot more like highlight drill plays. But I thought this year got a little more tighter, played a little more test match sort of style. A lot, and
Agreed.
you could see the growth in his rugby, which was amazing to watch. It probably didn't look as flashy as what it looked last year, but actually the growth in his game was so good to watch it. I think he's only going to get better and better. Less mistakes. If people be supposed to say less cards, you know, our boys. What's always our boys sees the red mist. I'm saying as nice as I can because I'm going to see Evan in December, so I don't want the red mist to come to me.
No, you got to be nice there. You got
Uh,
to be nice there.
but then he has sort of improved. But then I look at, I mean, Kenan Moody and Sasha. I think Sasha is the future, mate. Sasha was playing 21 Curry Cup, and then 2 weeks later he's carving up for URC for the Stormers. Like all Sasha wants is a green field and a rugby ball, but and then and you'll cook. But I think it's hard not to go for Kenan Moody, mate. Playing 13 for the first time this year, playing on the wing for the Bulls, how great he was. Just the growth that he's made this year is an absolute superstar, and I do think that he's probably one of the gems we found, one of the best players we found in a long time. So I think in that group helps. He's the only one there with the World Cup winners medal. So you gotta go the World Cup winner then, Kenan Moody.
No, I hear you. I just do want to touch a little bit of base with Sasha Cooks. Is there a better? I'm being dead serious when I say this, not beating around the bush, mate. Is there a better baller than Sasha right now? Have you seen the guy on TikTok, like what he's doing? Just the baller, the try that he scored against the Lions, mate. It was absolutely outrageous. We're going to touch base on Chelsea just now, but I'm almost 100% sure Sasha rocks up to the Chelsea training ground there in London, and he can fit straight into that midfield, straight in with his touches, with everything. Mate, tell me, there's no better baller right now than Sasha.
To be fair, mate, I think anyone could walk in the Chelsea midfield and start at the moment. That's the trenches that's the trenches we're in. But like I said, I think the prime example for me with Sasha was he plays in 21 Curry Cup, captains the side, wins it. His next game, 2 weeks later, is playing 12 for the Stormers. Got shifted to 12 late because of an injury during the warm up. Absolutely carves it up against the Lions. Scores an incredible try. And, 12 is a position he's played a few times. Sort of last year, I remember Dobbo sort of threw him in the mix. I think it was a quarterfinal. But in the quarterfinal,
It
he came
was,
on
yeah.
early. And sort of played that position. And the kid is good. Mate, the kid is special. I mean, you know him personally. You coached him at Bishops. He's special. There's something there that he's got it. Like that's the thing. He's got it, and you can see it whenever he goes in the rugby field. When he like, it's crazy. Like how much he's improved. He's got a little bit bigger as well. He's in 12. He's got a bit stronger. He's got a crazy boot. The skills are still there. And also for me, he's in the perfect environment. For me, it shows how great the culture is at Stormers, where someone like Sasha can easily just transition in, go from 10 to 12, still play good rugby. Got guys around him, Ronald around him. There's experience there. So I think he's in the perfect environment to grow. Now he's going to learn more from a Damien Willemse, learning from Marnie. Marnie comes back, should come back this weekend. So I think he's in the perfect environment and he can only get better, which is because I mean, what he's 21, 22. The sky's the limit with Sasha, and it's exciting.
Mate, and he just also led the Western Province under 21s to a championship, mate. It was a great side, but I totally agree with you, and I'm going to throw something out here, Cooks. And I first and foremost love the Springboks. We've been through the Springboks together all the time. At the end of last year, I don't know if you recall that game before Italy, Sasha got injured in that midweek game. He did his ankle, and the rumor mill was swirling around that he potentially could have started and got a cap against Italy. I don't know if you recall that. And he did his
Mm.
ankle, and he was in great form, as you just said. He played in the playoffs for the Stormers. He did really well. Then went on that end of the year tour, did really well there. And then he did his ankle, mate, with, I'm not lying, it must have been like 1 or 2 minutes left. And he could have been in the box side. Now, as I said, I'm a box supporter, but I'm going to throw something out here. If I'm Steve Borthwick, I pick up the phone tomorrow, I pick up the phone and I say to Sacha, mate, I don't want you to commit. All I want you to do, because you got your passport, I'll get you first class flights up there to London. You rock up there to Twickenham, and I just want to show you around, mate. I just want to show you around. Maybe you enjoy London. Maybe you enjoy the lifestyle. Maybe you enjoy, I don't know, Saracens or Leicester. Maybe you also know that Faz is coming towards the end of his career at Saracens and for England. Maybe, just maybe, I'm just saying. And as I said, I'm just speaking it out there. I'm throwing it out there. If I'm representing Sacha, that's what I'm doing, mate. I'm literally just going to take what Sacha has given over the last year, and he's being a baller, everything. And I'm just going to say, mate, just quickly come have a look.
Bad changes. I don't blame you. I mean, if I'm Steve Borthwick, I'm making the same phone call. But as Sacha puts the phone down, if I'm Rassie Erasmus now, I'm making a phone call to two people. Number one, I'm phoning Georgia, saying, listen, York's need games. Can you play a test match? It's in 3 days' time. And then once I'm done doing that, I'm calling Sacha. Hey, you start against Georgia in the middle of December. The Boks are playing. You get in your cab. There's no way you are leaving this country. That's what I'm doing. There's no way we can afford to lose Sacha. But you're all right. If I'm England, like I'm Steve Borthwick, I'm got to have the conversation. You got to pick up the phone up and say, mate, listen, you qualified to play for England. You can't play for England, mate.
Mate, you can be
Saracens,
in the Six Nations in 3 months' time. Mate,
Saracens, Harlequins, playing Sale.
Leicester.
Like, I can't say Bob because my boy White Chocolate's there. Come on now. I like Sacha, but come on now. White Chocolate, come on.
The two ballers together, 10, 12.
Well,
Imagine.
it's worth a shot. I promise you, if I'm Steve Borthwick, it's worth a shot. I'm playing devil's advocate with him as well. I'm like, listen, bud, you're a 10. Marnie's there provincially. Andre's still 29. Like, I'm throwing in everything at him. Like, and then I'm going like, oh, look at the pounds. There's pounds. I promise you, if I'm Steve Borthwick, I'm trying to get Sacha harder than I try to pull chicks at arcade. I promise you, that's what I'm doing.
Mate,
I'm going all
without a
out.
shadow of a doubt, I'm going all out. I'm literally going all out. But that is, that's such a great conversation for the next time. But Cooks, let's quickly jump through the rest. Couple of things. Springbok Sevens Men's Player of the Year. Christy Hob, men's. Yeah, so let me just see. Why is this gone blank now? Who is that? Shilton van Wyk, Christy Grobler, and
Or Ricardo Duarte.
my screen's
Yeah.
literally okay. Yes.
I think
Who are you going
it's hard.
with?
I think Shelter van Wyk is probably one of the big breakthroughs for the Blitzbokke. I think obviously tough year for the Blitzbokke, but it means it's changing of the guard. So there's a lot of change in that side. But I think Ricardo Duarte, I think he's my pick. I think he was the shining light of the season. Absolutely epic. I think he was up for breakthrough player of the year for the sevens, and I think also for player of the year
It was.
for the circuit. So incredible young player. I mean, his first probably foolish year as a starter in the side. I think he's probably the next big thing for us in the future. So I'm gonna go to Big O or Ricky or Duarte.
Okay, I agree with you, mate. A next gen again. Junior Springbok Player of the Year. Corne Beards, Paul de Villiers, Damian Marcus. Without even saying anything, I just got to go with my boy Paul de Villiers, mate. I just got to go with him. That man led so well, and he gives. I promise you, he's giving me Heinrich Rousseau vibes. Small in stature, but mate, you literally playing, and the next minute you look, and like the ball's like on the other side of the field, and it's Paul de Villiers running with it. Like that's future right there. Do you think with someone like Paul de Villiers, Cooks, we have a opening for a out and out fetcher again? Because that has definitely just slipped through in the past couple of years, just in general around South African rugby.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'd be great to see them come back. The likes of, I mean, we remember like the Prosos, the Marnus Kuma
Yes.
and the Kobus Groblers back in the day where guys were just out and out fit. I do think with the way the box play now, I think we sort of do like the hybrid option. I'm like, you look at someone like Quokka Smith, for example, like the way he's probably the stature of a fetcher, but it's such a hybrid because of the way he play and what he can give you ball in hand. I mean, how can be put on the wing? So I think someone like Paul de Villiers, I mean, I think what he'll need to do is obviously sort of add more to his game and not just be an out and out fetch. I think you sort of got to be this hybrid, like he has the perfect sort of six for us because he does. His rucking is phenomenal. Something that a lot of people overlook how incredible he is at ruck time, whether it's getting the first to clean or opposition rucks coming for, I mean, steals and counter rucks, getting his hands in, tackling. Sort of, he's sort of just a nice sort of hybrid. And I think someone like Paul de Villiers, I think you'll need to sort of add that part of his game to it with the unreal fetching ability. But then again, you look at someone like Flo as well, who was great coming off the bench and just being this S factor, come in, win the game, get a steal or two. So I think there is room for that. It'd be great to see. I was a big fetcher guy. Just give me a 1.8, a 1.8 or a 1.84 flank. Weighs about 90 kgs, comes in a scrum cap. You just know you miss your clean, mate. It's game over. Don't ask
It's
him to jump
game
in the line
over.
outs. Don't ask him to jump in the line outs. He's making one or two parts of the game. It's off the line out, straight to the nine. Don't ask him too much in there.
I know, I totally agree. And then obviously Damien Marcus also had
X
a
factor.
massive impact
X
there.
factor.
Absolute X factor, mate. I'm personally all watched quite a bit of Damien Marcus, and it's going to get to the stage probably in the next couple of years where that is one person that needs to decide whether he pushes on with 15s or he ventures off
Mm.
onto the 7 circuit, mate. That guy, I mean, look what he does with 15 people on the field. Imagine what he do with 7 people on the field. And that's just the honest truth, mate. That guy's step, his explosiveness, his
Oh,
power. For such a tiny guy, he's always getting over the game line, literally. And it's because he's so explosive. So, yeah, big decision for Damien. You've obviously watched him. And yeah, as you said, X Factor. Cook's team of the year, I mean, we're not even going to get into that. It's cut. Cheetahs, Springboks, Stormers. I don't think we need to talk about it. Coach of the year, John Dobson, Harvey's Fourie, Jacques Nienaber. I don't think we need to talk about it. I
I was
mean,
like, persuade. I mean, I've got to give the Cheetahs some love here. I
okay,
mean, no,
okay.
like, bear in mind the Cheetahs. I mean, aren't playing in a competition. I mean, they're pretty much playing Currie Cup and then they're playing. They just sort of try to find games. They're playing the Western Force at random times of the year. Like you just
Yeah,
blink one,
yeah.
you just blink one, and they play against the Western Force. So I mean, it is a tough situation down there, but it's great. I mean, when they come to the Currie Cup and they front up and dominated their way through the Currie Cup. I think shout out to the Pumas as well to make the final back to back again.
Yeah.
Wow, the world's strongest rugby coach, Jimmy Stone, has still got it in
Mate,
him. So now
man
I've
that
got to give
benches
the
the most.
Right. I've got to give the Cheetahs some love. I think it has been a tough few years for them. So just I wasn't bloomed for the Currie Cup final, and you can still see how much it means for the people. Again, kicking off, game kicks off at 5. There's Braz going at 2 o'clock already. The whole street is locked on the way to the stadium. The whole street is locked down. There's Braz, there's Bucky's. Shame, I saw
It's
a lady
special,
there.
man.
I saw a lady at about almost 2 o'clock driving into work. It looked like she had her first brandy and coke at about 7:30 in the morning because at 2 she was like leaning against the buggy. I'm like, I don't think she's missing it. Missing it to kick off.
But that is special, and yeah, unfortunately, mate, you know as youngsters what the Cheetahs did for us.
Mm.
They had so many rugby players that I think both you and I absolutely love, and yeah, I must agree with you. We can give the Cheetahs love, but yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
still
yeah.
think I totally agree. I totally agree, mate. Alrighty. Currie Cup Premier Division Player of the Year. Tinus de Beer from the Pumas, Ruan Pina from the Cheetahs, Devin Williams from the Pumas. Cooks, fill me in here,
Dan
mate.
Williams.
Oh,
Devin
mate. Mate,
Williams.
what is it with these
Devin.
X Factor players, mate?
Ooh. I mean, obviously, I mean, I love Tunis Beer was great. But Tunis Beer was carving up for the Pumas. Now, since he's gone to Scotland, he's got this revenge mission for all South African sides. He's been carving up for the last 2 weeks. But Devin Williams. But there's two very dangerous things in South African rugby. Number one, a color black don't play with a scrum cap on. Back three,
Yes, sir.
don't. You're getting stepped. And number
Don't.
two, there's nothing more dangerous than a colored 10 who does not kick for pole. All he's been told is cook. Don't- Dylan
Cook.
Williams
That is
doesn't
it.
kick for poles, doesn't kick for touch. Jimmy Stoner just tells him, hey, cook. And Devin Williams
Do your
says,
thing, mate.
and Devin Williams just puts on a show week in, week out. And the just reward of it, I mean, I remember Devin Williams from seeing him at school coming up and playing for the Stormers and just never getting the cut. We ever knew what lightning and electric he was, but now you look at him, his just reward is being on loan for the Bulls and playing URC, which is amazing for him because he can play. He can flat out play, and I'm so glad that he's getting the love that he deserves.
Mate, this is a conversation that you and I are going to have another time, but I do need to fill you in on something. My Western Province under 21 year had Devin Williams in it, Cheslin Colby, and Dylan Late.
Yeah, but that was 2012, eh? That was disgusting. I mean, even
It
with
was.
Sia, Ricky was captain.
It was disgusting, mate.
Kitty was meant to play, but Kitty was too good. Kitty was too good, and he started to play flipping Super Rugby from 19. Like he was supposed to be in there.
Mate,
That was
Damien
disgusting.
the Islander, it was disgusting. We are going to catch on that in another time.
That could be one of the best junior sides of all time. That was
I
disgusting.
totally agree, mate. And then last 1 year, Currie Cup First Division Player of the Year, Keegan Fontaine from the Falker, Darian Hock, Boylan Cavaliers, and Cameron Hufka from the Boylan Cavaliers. And obviously the Boylan Cavaliers, mate, won the competition, played extremely well.
What a man. What a man.
Darren Hock.
What a man.
Darren Hock.
What a man. That's my guy. Was playing for the club records a couple of years ago. Almost quit playing rugby. I mean, he was still in the mix, not sure what to do. And now look at him, but just absolutely carved it up at a great Currie Cup First Division. So I'd love for him to win it.
Me too. And to see where he ends up in the future, because he's also a baller. Cheapers. Cooks, mate, that's a wrap. But we're not finishing with rugby here, mate. We've got to touch base because I think the Sharks won their first little game this weekend. Still bottom of the log, but
No. We're third bottom now. Don't you come here and put us back in the shit. We are third bottom. Don't come here. Don't come with that bullshit you're saying we still lost. Hey. I'll fight you.
Apologies.
Respect us, please. Respect us, please. We climb to get off to
But Cooks, it looked good, mate. It seriously looked good. It actually looked like the Springboks were back, mate. A couple of Apalele Fasi, unreal. Lucanio Am back on the park. Elizabeth doing his thing. It just generally all round looked like a proper Sharks performance, mate, that was needed. Let's just put that out there. I think that was needed because it was a dominant performance as well.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing they're saying. It was a dominant bonus point. Put 60 on the boys just to sort of kickstart momentum. I think the Kodak game was frustrating because I still don't know how we lost that one. And I think so now we sort of needed to bounce back, and they did. You know, I think all the Springboks sort of put their hats up. Apelele Fasi, I mean, the Chocho Fasi is still going strong, but we're not going to give up. The Chocho Fasi does not give up, and he looked good. But I think for me the biggest difference, Jaden Hendrickse. He was absolutely phenomenal again. I think we've missed him. We've missed him a lot. I think, especially to have him back to the calmness, the control he had. I mean, Grant Williams again. That 1-2 punch
comes on.
That 1-2 punch is absolutely amazing because you get the best of both worlds. Jaden's got that control of the game. I mean, just game comes so easy for him. And then Grant Williams, obviously, probably the most explosive 9 in world rugby. I mean, the worst person you want to see come off the bench, even to start, like. Oh, geez, that finds gaps that aren't there. Lucanio Am is the line he ran for that try he scored. So it's everything we needed. I think the Sharks attack is also coming along nicely. I think now it's just to get that monkey off the back, get the first win, it's been a rough start. I mean, it's a rough tour. I mean, you're playing Munster and Leinster earlier, it's not fun. But yeah, bonus point in, third last now. Now you got the
Third
Bulls this
last.
weekend. Go to fifth last. Do you know what I mean? We're just here.
Just keep climbing, keep climbing the ladder.
Bobs.
And mate, I'm happy. I'm really happy that just in general, I'm going to touch base. We're going to touch base with the Stormers now. But again, we've spoken about it over and over. We allowed the Northern Hemisphere sides to have their moment, as we spoke
Yeah.
about last week. And they're now here in Mzansi in the 30-degree heat. And the Bulls were dominant. The Lions were dominant. The Sharks were dominant. And we're back at home, mates. And that's what we were hoping for at the end of the day.
Did you see the zebra oaks with the towels over their head? I was like, yeah.
That's Joburg. That's Joburg for you.
It is hot here. Saturday. Oh, I was in a Brian Saturday. It's hot. So I was looking at zebra. I was like, yeah. It was fun and games. You're beating the Sharks. Saying you're back now. I'm like, yeah, I'm suffering now. All games. I'm telling you, the Lions must say all games when they play at home must be at 1 o'clock, people. People for 1. Suffer here.
No.
Altitude.
They must suffer altitude, top, everything. And they must be, Cooks, it's hot, mate, when you're having an afternoon Brian Joburg, being a ex-Josie boy myself, mate. And you're standing by the braai, but you got to stand about 3-4 meters away, because if you stand too close, you want to smell, but you're sweating, mate. Now, you don't want to be sweating. You're in a white shirt and then you're showing patches. So now you've got to get that balance right between where you're standing. You don't want your beard to get too hot, so you stand back. I know those hot Josie days.
And the last thing you're going to be doing is getting cooked by the Lions at like 34-degree weather in altitude.
I totally agree, mate, because they are a different beast at home, and there's definitely a little bit of positivity around the Lions now with their big win. I see today that they announced, I think, 19 new players.
Yeah, amazing,
of which they keep their youngsters. They keep Ron Fenter. They keep Quinn Horn. I mean, there's a handful of guys that they keep that just keeps them going, mate, because I know we do get worried about the Lions, but I just think having that base of players carries them for another two years. I'm not going to say 3 years. I'm just going to say 2 years,
100%.
which is, it's positive being from Joburg, mate.
100%. Yeah, no, I'm stoked for that as well, because Sam, they do get players poached from them. So to keep guys like that, I mean, I'm stoked for them that the youth is still there. Rap City bitch is still there. It's gonna be
it's gonna through boy.
It's gonna, that's great. But are you Stormers are back home? I'm sure Gaza, Marnie and the boys should be back this weekend. You're not too worried?
I'm not too worried. I still, Cooks, just can't get over how we butchered the weekend, mate. No, it's one of those things. I mean, I would love to obviously know what the thinking is with 3 minutes to go and it's 24 all and you get your scrum pen. We've had a couple of dominant scrums over the past couple of weeks, and then we kick to touch and we don't find touch, and then we end up losing it in the 80th minute. So it's been a bad tour for the Stormers. It's been a tough tour for the Stormers. I know Dobbo is, I know he's spitting. He's not happy. And mate, the faithful, they're so used to winning, mate. It's like Real Madrid. It's genuinely just like Real Madrid. The faithful need to see the hoops winning week in and week out. And the minute you have 1 L, 2 L's, you hear the faithful, mate. You hear it. Everyone's not the same. People down in Cape Town, they're just not happy. So I know Dobbo's feeling that. But again, mate, 4 games here in Cape Town over the festive period. I can almost guarantee.
Hardest place to win games has become, man. Hardest place to win games.
30,000 people coming out, Cooks. I just think Gaz is back. Hopefully he's out of his gear. Hopefully he's now back in the hoops gear. Obviously Gaz has had his fun, mate, down here, and hopefully he just knows that there's a job at hand, and we need Gaza, we need Marnie. What is going to be really interesting, Cooks, and I'd love your little bit of just input here. What does Dobbo do with regards to the back? What do you think we do? Because, mate, we've obviously got so many backs. Sash has been at 10. We've got a handful of flops. The flop situation that we've tried over the last couple of weeks hasn't worked out. So do we shift Marnie into it? That Gaza to fullback, but a couple of guys have been performing. Do we go with Marnie at 10?
Dio's been a big loss, and someone probably the most underrated Stormers backline player because probably may not be as flashy as Amani as Darren Williamson. Dan du Plessis has been a massive loss, not having Dan du Plessis
100%.
available. That's probably been the biggest loss, because especially now with Damien available, not being there. So 12 has been a position that's been hard to play. I know Sash is obviously full the jersey nicely, but they do miss out Dan du Plessis, and I think that's going to be the big one now. I mean, trying to fit all those quality players. The depth that the Stormers have at the backs is crazy. But I think for me, I get Marnie back in there. I wouldn't be surprised to see if Damien goes Damien goes to the 12, and then maybe you sort of go with Ojalante at 15, run it back, give the faithful that love they had in 2022, run it back. Or
Yes,
even
sir.
if, or I think Marnie does come back. But if so, I think the center one is also wouldn't be surprised if Dobber goes Sasha at 12 still, but then Damien Williams at 15. So then you can still play around. You still have Boogie as well. So I think the options are there, but I think number one is getting Marnie back. I think that's going to be the big one. Get Marnie back at 10. Get him back in the saddle. You know what you know what Marnie does whenever he sets foot at Cape Town at the DHL Stadium. The boy just cooks.
He's a different animal, mate. He's literally a different beast. What that guy does. So yeah, good to have him back, and I'm excited to see what Dobbo does. And then Cooks finishing with the Bulls. The Bulls also obviously played really
Oof.
well, but they do the Bulls things there at Loftus, mate. It's
It's a good side this year, bro. It's
mate.
Jake
It's a
White
really good side.
Jack White said end of last year, like, listen, it's not gonna be how it was last year. They're looking good. When Willie comes and cooks, my boy Serge, oh yes, senior, always doing the
Surge.
most. You know, it's been low key clutch. Sebastian de Klerk has been great. Gee, because he's been an absolute menace down at 14. But again, bro, like, they are stacked,
They
stacked.
are
That's
stacked, mate.
Volcano, Akafanda man. Oh, jeez, but that side is stacked. So they're
It's that
looking probably,
purse, mate. It's literally
yeah.
that purse. It's
They're the
that
form.
purse, mate. When
But balanced, eh? But balanced, so it's the nice thing. I think I still worry about their 10 situation. But it's going to be interesting now. I think obviously we could Bull Stormers in a few weeks' time. That's going to be. And Bulls haven't beat the Stormers in a long time. And the Bulls know that. And they want to get that hoodie off their back. So, yeah, I think at the moment you say the Bulls are the SA form side, and I think Sharks Bulls this weekend is going to be an absolute humdinger as well.
I totally agree, Cooks, and it's that derby, Bull Stormers, mate. It's generally, when you pull on the hoops and you pull on that blue jersey, that green jersey goes out the window, mate. And it's about who
100%.
can who donates the most blood. That's literally what it's about. But yeah, great all round. And then Cooks just finishing off with mates. Munster played Leinster in front of 50,000 people. Obviously, we know the Irish love their rugby, but mate, for the URC in general, it's just
Also, it's good.
unbelievable to have that. You watch all the URC rugby games, stadiums are getting fuller. Are we how close are we to not competing with the top 14, but having the product of the top 14, Cooks?
I think it's getting there. I mean, it's not a new competition, right? I mean, I think it's that for the Africans, we still getting to know the teams, getting to know, like, the Dragon and teams like that. I think we're sort of buying into it. I do think that the rugby in December is going to be something that South Africans that we really enjoy. That's going to help us. I think that obviously the overseas fans are going to get used to Springboks. I think the Springboks have definitely, when the SA sides have definitely increased the quality of rugby of the URC. And you can see that. I think, Munster list is always going to be big. So I'm glad to see the numbers going up. And also, yeah, flip this week, Jacques Bust started his week at Leinster. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how that progresses and how Leinster go. But boy, I've been trying to avoid this all podcast long, but unfortunately, we got to speak about the Premier League. I was trying my best. Like, I see how you did it. Like, you mentioned Munster and Leinster because Leinster wears blue. I support you. That's what you tried to do. Well, I wanted to catch you before you segue into it. I want you to do it. I want to do it myself. I
I
want to
hear
read the
you.
Band-Aid
I hear you.
myself. Oh, mate.
Talk to me, mate. Talk to me. What's happening at Chelsea? Obviously, we thought, mate, 4-4 against City last weekend. Obviously, the hopes are up, scoring goals. It was open gates against City, but generally, Chelsea just looked like there was some form of a connection going. And then you go over to Tyneside, and mate, talk to me. What is happening at the bridge?
But we had a best performance of a season before international break. Come back 10 days later, we have our worst performance of the season. That second half was an absolute dog show. We were so, oh, that was a shit show that we put on the second half there. But it just shows, we found new thing, but like we got a young side, and the problem is with a young side is inconsistency, and that's what happens, and you can see that just so inconsistent. And unfortunately, I mean, Thiago Silva had an absolute nightmare the day that he was named the oldest player to play in the Premier League for Chelsea. That was not the day for him to have a stinker. Like, don't do it on the day they say you're the oldest one. An absolute mare, gifted them a goal. But again, it's like our problems like with Chelsea. What's really pissing me off Bri, is at the start of the season, we couldn't defend. I mean, we couldn't score goals, right? But our defense was keeping us in games. Now we start scoring a few goals. Now we can't defend. So I'm like we can't go forward one step and then take 4 steps back and then piece ourselves back together, back to her. So that's a frustrating thing, because this squad shouldn't be 10. We have a good squad. We've bought 475 players in 2 windows. So I don't know. That's the frustrating part. We got Brighton this weekend. We have to win.
2 billion as well.
We have to win this weekend against Brighton. I think it's imperative that we win just to get some sort of momentum back. We can't get in this
Sorry,
run of
Yaye.
we can't get in a run of now. It takes us. We're gonna lose 2 games, draw, God, don't win for like 6 games. Especially now, this is the hectic part of the period because it's November. December games comes into. There's no international break until March. So yeah, so it's tough times here, but oh, they say tough times don't
Uh,
last, but they're lasting here.
Mate, I'm saying this. I'm an outsider, mate. Pochettino doesn't see the end of the year. I'm just putting it out there.
No, no,
But
no,
you're
no,
used
no.
to that. You
If
know this
Poch,
already. Like,
if
so,
Poch, if Poch leaves, then like, excuse my language, you fucked. Promise you, Poch leaves, you fucked. He is the shining light that we have now. He is the right manager. Like, I don't think Poch is the issue. I think the issue is the fact that we still have a squad of 1,000 people. The certain guys can't get game time. It's inconsistency. Like Poch on the weekend, we were soft, 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 soft.
soft, mate.
And that's not a coaching thing. That's a players thing. And unfortunately, the way we've built our squad and the way we sort of built it, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. This is the part where it gets worse, but I can still see the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe now
You see the vision. You see the vision. You're
maybe
an
like after
ex-coach. You see the
but maybe
vision.
Saturday it's looking more like a train. But I'm still hoping it's a light. But yeah, I'm still hopeful. And you 1-1 against City, not a great game though. But I mean, you take 1-1.
Mate, you take 1-1. Liverpool have been cuck at the Etihad over the last couple of years, and that's generally why, mate, we've pretty much haven't won the league, because we haven't been able to get anything there. From I do think we were lucky, but the changes that Jurgen made in the second half, Trent's been obviously playing this inverted role where he's the quarterback. Jurgen sent him to the right-hand side. It opened up a little bit more space. And then, yeah, mate, Trent was able to get it. And it was that performance that, to me, 100%, because I was still iffy, could we get a result? But it's 100% said to me that it's a 3-horse race for the league
Mm.
between Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. And, mate, I'm stoked. Touch wood, and I really need to touch wood, yeah. We haven't suffered any bad injuries. It's been a couple of niggles, nothing too serious. And obviously, it's a squad. More and more players are getting injured because we play about
Yeah.
45 minutes extra at the end of the game. So instead of a game being 90 minutes, we end up watching for about 3 hours. And then and that's excluding VAR. Don't even get us
Yeah.
started on VAR with
Oh,
what happened
jeez.
with Wolves last night. And I mean, the Cooks, we do just have to touch base, mate. Again, you said it, but mate, VAR, surely. What, mate? What do we get
Don't
rid of
know.
it? Please, just fill me in here
It's
quickly.
getting worse because I don't think technology is the issue. Is the people behind the technology. mate, they're terrible. Again, poor call. You have the cameras right there, but I do think we this VR deserves its own podcast. It does for us to sit down and dissect because we could be on all night. But yeah, like I said, for me, it's not the technology; it's the people behind it. That's got to change.
And Cooks, to finish off, mate, you obviously saw United and Garnacho scored an absolute
Where do you go?
worldie, mate. A worldie. And he's a Ronaldo boy. And I can go on about Garnacho because he is a young superstar. But I do need to hear you. Are you going Rooney's overhead against City, or do we go the young Garnacho against Everton?
I go with Rooney based
Mate.
on the occasion. The occasion, but the story helps it as well.
Mate, it came off his shit. It came off his shit.
The story
We're
is not
talking
on.
about overheads.
But
Overheads, mate.
don't forget, also a deflected cross has to adjust as well to win the derby, do the pose, feint. Like I do think certain goals. I think
It
Ganacho's
was
goal
a
is absolutely.
celebration. It was a celebration.
Ganacho's goal is absolutely unreal, mate. That's incredible. But I lean towards Rooney. Just I do think the occasion also matters.
I'm going to have to go Garnacho just because, mate, it is a youngster. It's 2 minutes, mate. The guy isn't even warm, mate. The guy is literally cold. It was cold there at Goodison, and then he comes out and he does these crazy things. So I'm going to
No,
have to
wild,
give it to him. But
wild.
Cooks, mate, another one done. And yeah, we look forward to Thursday. We got a special guest coming. Can't give that away just as of yet, but another one comes to an end, mate. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thanks, boy. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for listening, and yeah, see you on Thursday.
Cheers, guys.